Breaking the execution gap, a guide to going from dreamer to doer. The real reason people fizzle out isn't usually lack of skill or missed chances. It's letting the gap between deciding to do something and actually doing it drag on too long. That's the tough truth I've picked up from watching so many people struggle. Most of us get more and more stuck not because we don't try, but because we let time slip by between I need to do this and I'm actually doing this. That tiny little time difference is quietly chipping away at what we're capable of. What is the execution gap anyway? The execution gap is the time between when an idea pops into your head and when you actually act on it. It's like an invisible sieve. The energy behind that idea drains the longer you wait. I call this the law of execution decay. If you don't turn an idea into action within 72 hours, the odds of it ever happening drop to less than 10%. Let it sit for more than a week, and you might even forget why you thought it was a good idea in the first place. And this isn't just scare talk. Neuroscience research shows the human brain spits out about 60,000 thoughts a day, and over 90% of them get pushed out by new info within 24 hours. It's like all those apps refreshing in your phone's background, new thoughts just overwrite the old one's space. Those big plans you jot down so seriously? Without an immediate action to pin them down, they'll just turn into fuzzy memories. How the execution gap kills your drive. What makes the execution gap so deadly are 3 overlapping mental habits. They're like invisible chains that slowly take away your ability to act while you wait. The idea dilution effect. New thoughts washing away your original intent. Your attention is like a cup with a limited capacity. When new ideas pour in, old ones get watered down. You decide Monday you're gonna start morning runs, then Tuesday you see a coworker doing yoga and second-guess yourself. Wednesday you scroll past a side hustle tip and switch gears again. Every new idea makes the last one feel less important. This dilution hits extra hard in the age of information overload. Short video apps hit you with a new stimulus every 15 seconds. Social media serves up new goals with every refresh. Your decision-making system is constantly getting reset. It's like a kid drawing in the sand, only to have the waves erase each outline before it's done. Nothing sticks. The resistance build-up principle. Procrastination makes the starting line higher and higher. Every action has some initial pushback, but putting it off makes that resistance grow like crazy. When you first think about working out, you just need to get past, I'm too lazy. Wait a week, and you add, what if people laugh because I haven't changed? Wait a month, and suddenly you've got, I don't have the right gear, or I don't have time as new excuses. Psychology's Zeigarnik effect says unfinished tasks hang around in your head, but procrastination twists that burden, turning, I want to finish this, into, I'm scared of failing. It's like pushing a boulder up a hill. At first, you just need a little nudge. But if it rolls back down, getting it up again takes way more muscle. Expectation inflation, imagined perfection killing the real start. While you wait, your brain unconsciously makes the goal bigger, turning simple actions into big productions. You originally planned to memorize 10 words a day, but after 2 weeks of putting it off, you suddenly think you need to buy a vocabulary book, download an app, and make a review schedule first. You want to write a short piece, but after a month of dragging your feet, you're convinced you need to study writing tricks, build an outline, and collect research first. This expectation inflation is really just self-sabotage. Your brain raises the bar to avoid looking imperfect, like refusing to pick up a paintbrush at all to avoid painting badly. But here's the thing. Every pro's work started as a rough first try. Watch out for 3 analysis traps. What feels like prep is actually avoidance. The execution gap stretches longer when we fall into thought patterns that seem reasonable. These traps act like they're rational or thorough, but they're really just killing your drive. Perfectionist procrastination, waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. Perfectionists are always holding out for, when everything lines up, I'll learn English when I have time, I'll work out when I have all the gear, I'll start my business when the market gets better. But the truth is, life's always got curveballs. That perfect moment never actually shows up. I once met a teacher who wanted to start a social media channel. She prepped for 2 years and never posted her first piece, saying she hadn't found the perfect niche yet. Meanwhile, total newbies who started around the same time, even with rough, unpolished stuff, figured out their groove by doing. Perfectionism is like a weight around your ankles. While you're tweaking details, you've already missed your chance to start. The truth is, human progress happens by moving forward even when things aren't perfect. Edison tested thousands of materials for the light bulb. If he'd waited to find the best filament before starting, we'd still be in the dark. WeChat went from version 1.0 to its current feature-packed state by updating over time, not by being perfect on day one. Information hoarding addiction, using research as a substitute for doing. Information hoarders all have one thing in common. They mix up looking things up with getting things done. Want to learn photography? Hoard 100 gigabytes of tutorials. Want to get into finance? Bookmark 500 guides. Want to write? Follow 30 writing blogs. They pat themselves on the back for prepping in their comfort zone, but never take a real step forward. This is really cognitive avoidance, relieving the anxiety of maybe failing by collecting info. It's like someone who wants to swim but spends all day reading about swimming without ever getting in the water. They'll never learn to breathe right. Knowledge only turns into skill through practice. Otherwise, it's just bytes on a hard drive or ink in a notebook. I knew a student studying for the IELTS who spent 3 months making 10 neat notebooks but never finished a single practice test. No surprise, it didn't go well. Language skills get better when you speak up and write stuff out, not from how pretty your notes are. Mood-driven delay, treating feeling ready as a must before acting. I'll start when I'm in the mood. I'll try hard when I'm in the right headspace. That's what mood-driven people say. But moods are all over the place. Relying on them to get things done is like sailing on rough waves. You'll never move steady. Psychological research shows the link between action and emotion is action first, emotion later. You don't smile because you're happy. Smiling makes you happy. You don't exercise because you're motivated. Exercising creates motivation. Waiting to feel right basically hands control over to your unpredictable mood. Author Haruki Murakami wrote in What I Talk About When I Talk About Running that he never waits for inspiration to write. He writes 4,000 words every day, no matter how he feels. That non-mood-driven consistency is exactly why he's so productive. 1. A practical guide to shortening the execution gap, getting from thinking to doing. Once you see how bad the execution gap is, the key is finding ways to shrink it. Using psychology and real examples, I've put together a set of actionable steps. The 24-hour rule, lock in ideas with immediate action. For any important decision, you gotta take the first step within 24 hours. It doesn't need to be perfect, hell, it can be tiny. Wanna lose weight? Take the stairs today. Wanna learn coding? Install the software right now. Wanna write? Jot down 3 sentences. The core of this rule is creating an action anchor. Neuroscience shows that small physical actions carve memory traces in your brain, making ideas go from fuzzy to real. It's like sticking a stake in the sand. Even when the waves come, there's a mark left. A friend of mine, Shaolin, wanted to switch careers to design. Instead of waiting to quit and study properly, he drew his first sketch the same day. That tiny start made him realize switching didn't need being fully ready. Learning by doing was faster. 6 months later, he was taking design gigs, and a year later, he'd made the switch. The minimum action unit. Lower the mental bar to starting. Break your goal down to a level where failing is impossible. Want to build a reading habit? Start with 1 page a day. Want to practice English? Try 1 sentence a day. Want to wake up early? Set your alarm 5 minutes earlier than usual. This minimization strategy uses psychology's flywheel effect. Getting a still flywheel moving takes a lot at first, but once it's rolling, keeping it going takes less and less. Actions work the same way. Once you start, momentum pulls you forward. Japanese author Banana Yoshimoto, early in her writing, set a daily goal of just 300 words. That easy-sounding target helped her get over the stress of writing badly and actually produce steadily. 3 years later, she won a literary award with Kitchen, a book that started with those daily 300-word chunks. The action iteration mindset. Get better by doing, not by overthinking. Successful people don't wait for perfect conditions. They make conditions better by acting. It's like building a house. They don't wait until all materials are ready to start. They lay the foundation first, then get more stuff as they go. WeChat founder Zhang Xiaolong once said, "A good product isn't planned, it's improved step by step." The first version of WeChat only had basic messaging. Core features like Shake and Moments got added little by little based on what users wanted. If they'd waited to perfect all features before launching, they'd have been left behind. This mindset works for personal growth too. Want to make short videos? Don't wait to buy gear or master editing. Just shoot your first one with your phone. Want a side hustle? Don't wait to figure out all the tricks. Do your first deal first. All improvements should happen after you start, not before. 1. The basic logic of rebuilding drive, changing from mindset to habit. Shortening the execution gap is really about redefining how you deal with yourself. It means breaking old thought patterns and building new action habits. Except that starting means being rough. All great things began with messy starts. Da Vinci worked on the Mona Lisa for 4 years, and the first draft was far from perfect. Beethoven rewrote parts of his Ninth Symphony lots of times while writing it. If they'd quit because their work wasn't good enough, we'd be missing some amazing stuff. We're scared of rough starts because we mix up the starting line and the finish line. Little kids learning to walk don't stop because they fall. But adults often freeze up because they're scared of looking silly. Remember, how you start doesn't matter. What matters is keeping going, because that's what decides the end result. Define yourself by what you do, not what you think. Social psychology's self-perception theory says we figure out who we are based on what we do. You don't become a writer because you want to be one, you become a writer because you keep writing. You don't become disciplined because you want to be, you become disciplined because you keep waking up early. Instead of defining yourself by what you want to do, shape yourself through what you're actually doing. Someone who writes 500 words daily is closer to being a writer than someone who wants to be a writer. Someone who exercises 3 times a week is more likely to lose weight than someone who wants to lose weight. Actions tell the truth about who you are. Build action triggers. Tie actions to specific situations, making them as automatic as a reflex. Like, drink a glass of water after getting up, morning routine drinking, or memorize 10 words before bed, nighttime routine vocabulary. This situation action link skips the should I do this part and jumps straight to doing. Behavior scientist BJ Fogg talked about anchor behaviors in tiny habits. Use a habit you already have to trigger a new one. Like, do 3 push-ups after brushing your teeth, using the habit of brushing teeth to kickstart the new action. This method shortens the execution gap, making actions automatic. 1. Conclusion. Between you and your ideal life, there's just one start now. Looking back at all the ideas we let go, they weren't bad. We just gave ourselves too much time to hesitate. The execution gap is like a river between your ideas and reality. The longer you wait, the faster the current, and the less courage you have to cross. Real drive isn't about big bursts to overcome huge obstacles. It's about grabbing small chances to act. A tiny action within 24 hours beats a perfect plan you wait 6 months for. A rough first step is better than a plan that stays in your head. Starting today, be a doer. When you think about working out, put on your running shoes. When you think about studying, open your book. When you think about writing, start typing. Don't worry about going the wrong way. Action will lead you right. Don't fear imperfection. Getting better step by step will bring you closer to what you want. The best time is always now. The best start is always right away. Between you and the life you want, there's just one decision: to stop waiting.